Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminithi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I can see many of you have switched on your cameras, but what I can see is a lot of kids. So I don't know whether this topic which was circulated is the art of parenting or it's a Children's Day special program. So it's about art of parenting. And how it's a very apparently very simple topic, and parenting was simple few decades ago. The mothers here who are attending, or the fathers, they would know how their parents, it was quite simple. Now things are changing, things have become more dynamic, lot many factors coming into picture. So that's why things are changing. So we need to learn. But even though there's a lot of change happening around us, something, or I can say the essence of everything remains same. So that is why if essence is same and we want to give best to our child or to our children, we have to learn from the history. And not only from the history, but from the Vedic scriptures, which are given by the all-perfect Krishna. He knows the best about everything. And he has been very kind to give us knowledge about everything in Vedic literatures. So it is Krishna's great mercy. It's now only that we have to take some time out, put some effort, try to understand what he is saying, because he is our greatest well-wisher. Surada Sarva Bhutana. Apart from Krishna and Krishna's devotees, there is nobody who is our well-wisher, actually, in a true sense. So that is why this is important to go back and open those books, try to learn, understand, and give the best to our next generation, so that when they receive best, what they will give to the future generations is the best. Nowadays, I don't know how much it is correct, but I've seen many of the parents going and searching things on Google about parenting. So what happens, different people from different parts of the world, they write things according to their own experience. and their own research. So the parents actually are confused which, which of the concept to follow. So they get confused. And that is why we thought, because I've been meeting parents and parents are talking a lot these days about how to raise the kids. So we thought, why not to give parents some authentic, time-tested method, the perfect method which is coming from the perfect personality, Sri Krishna. And when I say time-tested, it has been tested from time immemorial. The great leaders in the history, how they have been raised. Same principles we can take and follow. Some things may change, apparently. The details may change, but the principles should or must remain same. If principles are intact, then what we will see in future will be lot different from what we are seeing today. So let us begin this session called Art of Parenting. I have, some few slides to share with all of you. Just to make more, it's easy when you see some points, they get, registered in your conscious and subconscious mind. And one of our devotee has made these slides. I'm very thankful and very colorful. These slides have been made. And maybe keeping children in mind. So this is Art of Parenting. So what is the need of, before we move on to what is, we need to understand why we need to learn about parenting. Is it such an important topic? So that we need to give time. We see that Vedic scriptures, they give a lot of knowledge. All around the world, science is trying to understand. What science is trying to understand is what a child is thinking. The children who are like maybe few months old, that helpless child, what is that child thinking? Sometimes you would have seen that child, who's like 3 months old, 2 months old. They're sleeping very deep and they suddenly smile or they cry. So what is going on within them? A mother, because of her instinct, father may not understand, but mother understands a lot, because mother is connected to the child even when the child was within the womb. So mother is able to get something. But still, what is child thinking? What child wants or what he needs? Scientists are trying to study, but it's difficult. What to talk about what a child is going through or thinking when the child is within the womb of the mother. But Lord Krishna, in his incarnation as Lord Kapila, is talking to his mother Devahuti, and he is explaining. Please read. I will try to send the section from Bhagavatam. But it's a little, straight and heavy. So you understand what the child is going through. How much Because from the fifth month, the child comes to consciousness within the womb. And then, you know, who can live within the womb, like whose body has become like an arc shape, like the bow. It's complete darkness. There's a lot of filled inside. And because of that, you know, many worms take birth, and the worms, they bite the baby. And this fellow inside, what can he do? He cannot do anything. Helpless. He cries. And ultimately, after a few weeks, after a few months, he's suffering. He prays to Krishna that, my dear Lord, I've suffered a lot. And I promise you, in the moment I will come out of the womb of my mother, I will worship you, I will become your devotee. But what happens? When the child comes out, he's captured by the affection of parents. So now it is the duty of a parent, what our child has prayed to Krishna when he was within the womb, we have to make sure that his prayers come true. That is what parents should focus on. So that is why there's a need to learn what is parenting. Child anyways will undergo his own miseries and happiness and pleasures and sufferings as per karma. But still, parenting can facilitate the child to attain what will eventually make him eternally happy. That is what the parenting is all about. So that is the need. If you would have read Bhagavad Gita, if you read again 6th chapter, especially the text, the verses from 41 to 45, these 5 verses, Krishna is talking about what is the destination of an unsuccessful practitioner of bhakti. If someone has practiced bhakti, suppose we are practicing bhakti and we complete to a certain extent, next life we will continue. Now child has some karma, some bad karma, some good karma, and some bhakti karma. So the child is coming with that. So that is why it becomes a very responsible duty of mother and father to make sure that the child continues in that journey of bhakti and increases the good acts and reduces or diminishes the wrong acts and the result also. Then you will actually be called a well-wisher of your child. Mother and father, they are natural well-wishers of the child. The first, and very natural, because you have given birth to that child. But at the same time, we have to understand what it means to be a well-wisher. This has to be clarified. Does it mean that I will give best of the clothes, best of the toys, or best of the school education or college education? Does that mean the best bike or car or clothes or a vacation, going to different places within India, outside India? Yes, this is all is there. We are not denying that. But are these most essential components of parenting? If yes, then you have given whatever best you could. But why the result is not as per your desires? So that is why we need to learn what is parenting. So let us see some elements and then we'll discuss. So today we will talk about smart parenting. Many places you see this concept called smart goals. So we thought, why not to have a smart parenting? So what is this smart parenting? S stands for smart. The first thing. So what is really what it takes to be a smart parent? We'll discuss about different kinds of parents. How mother is grown up and what is the baggage of karma mother is carrying from previous life. How the father is grown up and what kind of baggage father is carrying. They come together. They give birth to a child. Child is carrying some baggage, some karma. So how things will take shape, we have to see. And we have to facilitate. We have to understand. Smart parent means they will understand that we are only facilitators. We are not controllers of the child or the destiny of child. Sometimes parents, they try to fulfill their dreams through the child, their unfulfilled dreams. Father wants to become a doctor, but somehow or the other he couldn't become a doctor. So he wants now his son or daughter to become a doctor. Mother wanted to become a lawyer, somehow she couldn't become, or maybe she has, but still she wants the child to become the lawyer. And child has a desire to become a businessman. So now there's confusion. There's clash. There are a lot of clashes. So smart parents, they understand that we are only facilitators. We facilitate. Child has its or her own journey. We have to facilitate that. We cannot think that child is my property. In a way, you have not given birth to the child. No mother or father can claim that we have given birth to the child. You have just become facilitators or you have become instruments. Krishna wanted this soul to take birth and you have some karma. It is karma. A family comes together because of the past karma. So that is why the child is taken birth in your home. It is Krishna's arrangement. That is why we are facilitators. We are not controllers. The moment you try to become controller, the moment you try to control the destiny of the child, what happens? The child is frustrated, is completely upset. He goes against you. And everything is gone. And then you parents become emotional that we have done so much for you. What have you given? No, but you have First of all, we have to ask whether, as a parent, have I done in a right way? So we are only facilitators. Please understand this. A child has his own journey, and he is there with you so that his journey can be facilitated. So that is smart parenting. What is smart parenting? Not to understand or not to be convinced that you, as parents, are controller of the child or proprietor of the child. You are just a facilitator. You facilitate, and then there will be exchange of feelings, emotions, warmth between the child and the parents. And you enjoy that, you relish that, but don't control. Bringing the child into discipline is not about controlling. We'll discuss more. So, smart parenting means understanding I'm not the controller, I'm not the proprietor, I'm only a facilitator. This soul has come in my family, in my home, and I need to make sure that this child gets the best out of it, the best of everything, whatever we could give. So that is smart. Then M is for, we have given a more traditional way, Mahajano ena gata sapanta. What is the meaning of this line? Sanskrit line is a line from Mahabharata. Mahajano ena gataha sapantaha. That means already the great personalities, the great souls have, showed us the path of success, and we have to just follow. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, yad yad acharati shreshthas. As a leader, we have to set an example. So, as a parent, whether your mother, your father, it's your responsibility to set a proper example as a leader, because mother and father, they both are natural leaders for the child. The child learns in the early, days or months or years. And he looks up to the father, he looks up to the mother. And he's observing what my mother is doing, what my father is doing, how they're interacting with me, how they are doing other things. He's learning. So you become naturally a leader for the child. Now, remember that if someone does not become a good leader, by default, that person becomes a bad leader. There is nothing in between. Either you are a good leader or a bad leader. So this session is just, small sample or a trailer or a seed to give you an idea how to become a good parent, a good leader of the child. Third, SMA, A for affection. How can any relation in this world survive without affection? It's a must. Today also, when we talk about love, two examples are given. One, love of mother cow for her calf. And second, love of mother for her kids. There is no other example given for love. In Kali Yuga, there is some changes in the intensity of love of mother for the child that we have seen, that is witnessed. And that is why the prominent example is for love and affection is of the mother cow for her calves. But what does this affection means? Is it only about loving? Sometimes too much of love can be suffocating. The growth will stop. If mother is exhibiting love, that I have grown in a joint family where more than 30 members are there. So I have seen kids of every size and shape and variety. I personally got opportunity to raise kids. Not that the kids were orphans, but because there's such a big family, my mother, father, then so many chachas and chachis, and so big family. So I used to play with kids and I used to take care. Mothers were happy to give me their kids and I would take care. And I would also love. It's a natural instinct to, show affection for other person. But what is affection? Too much. So I was giving an example. If you have a baby, a 1 month old, you always carry the baby. If you always carry the baby in your arms and don't, allow that baby to be on the bed, what happens? The baby gets spoiled. How? If you always carry him in your arms, after few weeks or few days, he'll be used to it. And when you have to do some work in your kitchen and father has gone to office and you want to keep the child on the bed, he will start crying. He'll cry like hell. He'll not keep quiet because now it is used to. So who has made the child like this? Parents. Always, giving too much of lard and pyar. So that becomes, now you don't allow the child to walk. No. You will fall down. You don't allow the child to go for, learn cycling, and always keep the child in your arms. Then what happens? He doesn't grow. When child is 9 months, 10 months, 1 year old, and many people come to see him and he speaks the language. You know what is that language? Every child, irrespective of what is the mother tongue, they speak these languages: mama, papa, dada, baba, everyone, every child, all over the world. A Chinese or an African, Indian or an American, European, Australian, whichever child, they learn these kind of words. If you shower as a mother or father, if you shower too much of love and which is kind of suffocating, then after 25 years of his age, when he's 25 years and girl's father and mother have come to see your son, and girl's father will ask, what is your name? And this fellow will say, Baba, Mama, Papa, and Dada. Because you did not allow him to grow. This is happening. It is not exactly what I'm putting, but many kids, they become, even I've seen kids. Why am I saying kids? I've seen people, boys, studying MBA. Why I'm calling him a kid? I would say, change your footwear. It's torn. Yes. I have already called my mother and she will buy one and courier it to me because mother and father are staying in some other city. So then he becomes, he remains always a child. Abhimanyu was 14 years old. If you see example, we don't have time. Actually, this is a vast subject matter. If you allow, then we can maybe do Art of Parenting part 1 today and part 2 next week. Because you have to have the examples. And this is one topic which is very close to my heart. So, what is happening? Abhimanyu is 14 years old. And this fellow goes for a war. He's fighting in the battle of Kurukshetra. And he's fighting with 7 powerful personalities like Dronacharya, like Karna, and he defeats everyone. Even Karna and Dronacharya are forced to glorify Abhimanyu. That what a son Arjuna has. What kind of training, what upbringing Arjuna has given him. At the age of 14, he goes and defeats Karna, he defeats Dronacharya, he defeats Ashwatthama, he defeats uh, Dushasan, he defeats Duryodhan. He's defeating everyone. Huh? Now imagine how many, imagine, you see how many, children you have who are 14 years and, around 14 in your home and what they are doing. So sometimes too much of control, too much of love, too much of affection, what we shower, it hinders. It hinders the growth of the child. It's okay. If the child is learning to walk, don't hold him. Let him fall. It's okay. It's natural. And I'll give you an example of how eagle raises its offsprings. Eagle. Eagle is a bird who can fly like 15 kilometers above the sea level. 20 kilometers above the sea level. Much beyond the flights also. So eagle, when this the birds, they lay eggs. So the child has come out. The baby eagle has come out. So for a few days, okay. I don't know, few days or few hours. Because they don't have a long life like human beings. In few hours. Like the calf. When the cow gives birth to calf, that calf stands up on its feet in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, the calf stands up. Imagine. And human child takes at least 1 year to stand up. It's a different, it's a different ball game. So this eagle has a nest high they will always select the tall trees and the higher branches. And this eagle will have a nest. The baby bird has just come out, few hours. Okay, how she nourishes, how the eagle nourishes, like the mother, they will hold the babies, they will feed the babies. The mother eagle will just, similar. They have wings, so they will just caress the body of the baby bird with the wings. Very similar. After few hours of birth, from that height, maybe like 10 meters, 8 meters, 5 meters, whatsoever, eagle will push the child. The eagle will make sure that some cushioned kind of thing is on the ground and push the child. Why? Because the child has to learn how to flap the wings. When the child will, come in front of death, when the child will have fear of death, I'll fall down, I'll break my bones and I will die. So in that emergency situation, the baby bird will flap the wings. Again, mother will take this baby bird to the nest, again push. Again take, again push. This kind of training makes a small bird into an eagle into the making. If you want your child to become powerful, intellectual, and be more responsible, be more self-dependent, then don't show too much of love and affection. So then when the child, this baby bird, baby eagle starts flapping, 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 after few days or a week or few weeks, the eagle takes this baby bird into its claws and goes above, flying high, 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 goes up to like 12 kilometers. Is the cruising height. The flights, they are mostly on 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers, the cruising height. The eagle goes there 12 kilometers and just drops this baby eagle. How many of you mothers will do like that? Humans are different, so we don't have to try that because your child does not have wings, so don't even try that. So this eagle drops the baby bird from 12 kilometers of height. It is falling, falling, does not know how to fly. This bird has to become an eagle and not to become like a crow who cannot go above 10, 15, 20 meters. Or does not have to become like a hen who can only go, just flap few times and just jump and again go down on the ground. It's eagle. So the training is required for the eagle. Like in army, there are different army, categories in army. Training, the paramilitary commandos, and different commandos, and everyone. The training is tough because you are making commandos. The toughest training, because in life they will have to face that. So when the child is falling from 12 kilometers, but the eagle is always there, coming down with the child. And where only few meters are remaining, the mother eagle will capture the child again into her claws. The child is still not flying. She does not want child to be killed. That is how training. So when you give too much of love, that suffocates, that hinders the growth of a child intellectually, emotionally. It hinders the growth. So that is why affection or emotion, if you want to show, and you must show for the child, it has to be combination of two things, love and detachment. There should be love, but at the same time, there should be detachment also. What we are seeing nowadays, either there is too much of love, or there is too much of detachment, or too much of negligence, if we have to say, irresponsible parenting. So too much of love and too much of negligence or detachment is harmful. It has to have a proper blend of both. So that is about affection. Now, the child, even though the child is just 1 month old, infant, or 2 months old, the child understands what is going on in the universe, what is going on in the world. The child may not know who's the prime minister, but the child understands the things, especially in the house. Father is giving a lot of affection to the child, mother is giving a lot of affection, but the child understands that there is some problem between mother and father, husband, wife, conflicts. There's a lot of conflicts. And that conflicts affects the child. He understands. The child understands. The environment itself, it's not only what you give, it's like for a plant. If you are growing a plant in your house, It's not what you are giving water and sunlight, but what is other environment. Okay, you're giving natural fertilizer, the mud is good, but still, are there other plants in surrounding? Then this plant grows better. If you have done gardening, there's a garden, a proper garden. You see the flowers or the plants, they grow much better because they're happy. They're also living beings. They're happy in association with each other. And you have in your house, in Bombay, you cannot have a garden. Hardly anyone can afford to have a garden, you know. And then you have your balcony and you put some, pot, one plant, flower. And with whom that plant will talk? It's another problem because earlier there were many joint families. So the child was getting affection from mother, from father, from siblings, from chacha, chachi, mama, mami, from their kid, from dada, dadi, nana, nani, even from neighbors. The child born in the family, the child born in the society is not the child only of that mother and father. Genetically, biologically, yes, the child is only belonging to mother and father. But in terms of getting emotions and affection and love and training, entire society comes into picture. Earlier it was there. Now it's not there. It's missing. So imagine the variety the child is getting. Some neighbor will take the child. Give me a few hours, I will take care. And then sometime else some other neighbor is taking care. In the house, there's so many members in the family, so someone is taking care. The mother is also relaxed. But only in the house, there are only mother and father goes to office. Mother sometimes gets a little irritated and annoyed because it is very taxing. We will talk about it. It is very taxing to raise a child. It's not easy. It demands a lot of hard work, mentally and physically and emotionally. A child, all of you know, mothers and fathers, the child wakes up 2 o'clock in the morning. It starts crying. Why? The first thing you check is the diaper. But everything is fine. Why is the child crying? The child is like child wants to play. He's not feeling sleepy because the whole day he has slept. So night he's awake. And I have heard from many parents that it happens with many children, or most of them, or almost every one of them. All the kids, all the infants, they especially sleep during the day and are awake in the night. So what they want, why they are crying? Okay, Mister, why are you crying? Can you please explain? No, I want to play. You left me alone and you are sleeping. Father is sleeping. He's not able to talk, but the mother understands the emotions. Papa is sleeping, you are sleeping, and I am alone. Nobody is caring for me. I have been neglected. I cannot even dial 911 because I don't have a phone. In America, if the child, a 4 years, 5-year-old child feels that mother and father are not able to take care, immediately dials 911. There's one Indian family in America, mother and father, and a child, 4 years old son. So Dadi goes from India, Dada and Dadi, stays there for a few months every year. So mother and father are at office, and mother and father both are okay that Dadi is there to take care of the child. The child comes from the school and he's doing something, and this Dadi. India means what? Okay, what are you doing? Too much of playing. You should now sit and study. You know what this fellow did? He took up the phone, he called 911. Police came within 30 minutes, arrested this grandmother, put her behind the bars. The grand Dadi is in jail now. Why? To show some disciplinary action, take some disciplinary action for the child. This is Kali Yuga. How will you discipline the child? Chanakya says for first 5 years, from when the child is born till the age of 5, you give lot of love, lot of affection, lot of lad, pyar and all that. As soon as he crosses the age of 5, till the age of 16, he should be under very strict regime of discipline. No nonsense. Discipline. Anushasan. Because this is the time where child will take on discipline, which will help him throughout his life. And after 16, because you have given a lot of discipline, amazing that child has become. After 16, treat your child as your friend, because now he knows a very, very interesting, very important concept. Again, it will take another one class to go into detail. I'm just summarizing everything. So now this baby who is maybe 1 month old or 2 months old, whole day he has slept. Why? Because in the womb of the mother, he's used to sleep. What can he do? It's only dark. He has no mobile phone, so he cannot have YouTube. He cannot have WhatsApp, video calling with other friends. Today, I was surprised. I heard that at the 8 months of children, at the age of 8 months, these babies, they're not even kids or children, they're babies. They want mobile phones. And in few weeks, they learn how to operate. I have personally seen. They will not know what is mobile, which brand and all that, but they will know where to click. They will immediately open YouTube and all the channels, all these videos of kids' videos are there already. They know it. Smart kids. But it is very unfortunate. And mother and father, because they're busy, they give the phone. They give iPad. Play. Beta, you play. And this fellow is getting spoiled. So irresponsible parenting, which we'll talk about it later. So then now this fellow has slept. So he is habituated to sleep in the womb. So now when he comes out, child, when it's born as an infant, he just sleeps, I think, for 20 hours, 22 hours. And gradually it comes down to, and maybe 2 months also 16 hours, 15 hours he sleeps. But in the day, he has slept, and at night he wants to play. For mother, I really bow down to all the mothers. It's a tough task. It's a demanding task. Physically, emotionally, it's very draining. Mentally, it's very draining. But still, you have to exhibit that love and that affection to the child, and not to show that you are annoyed or you are irritated. You cannot be irritated with the child. But nowadays, I've witnessed, because we travel, and when we travel, we see traveling mothers with their babies, and they show that expression. The child captures that my mother is annoyed with me. What heartbreaking situation for the child. He's not able to say anything, but those memories, they stay. That is called sanskar. Sanskar is from day one. Sanskar is from the womb it starts. Sanskar. The impressions. So I know it's very demanding, but still we have to be very responsible. Very responsible. I'm in one of my favorite topics. I can just go on talking and on and on and on. Someone will say, "Oh, you have never become a father or a mother. How do you know so much?" Oh, so much is given the scriptures. And fortunately for me, I have grown up in a joint family where I have been raised, sometime by my mother, by my father, my chacha, chachi, grandfathers and neighbors. And I've seen my younger, siblings or cousins growing like that. Nobody knows where are the kids. They are growing somewhere. In the evening, they come back. So it is less taxing for the mother also, less draining for the mother also. A neighbor, some neighbor auntie comes and she takes away the baby for a few hours. So mother can relax, finish her household chores. And now just because the family means husband and wife, it's very difficult. That is why it has become artificially very difficult to raise a child. It has become difficult to raise a child because the families are not joint families. And also, it is gradually becoming more irresponsibility also. That's why we have to talk about responsible parenting. And sometimes we want to learn so much about parenting before we actually become parents. So we go to Swami Google Anand, google.com, and search so much and so many things and read so many things. No, best learning for someone how to be a good parent is learn from your parents or from others. If your parents are not available, they're not there, then some dada, dadi, nana, nani kind of people who especially stayed in smaller towns, they know how to raise a child. They will show exact amount of love and detachment. I'll tell you one example of detachment. When these babies, they are like 15 days old, they are given a lot of massage, a very strong massage. Why? Because otherwise the bones will not become pakka. This fellow will have from childhood called osteoporosis. Nowadays, a lot of people are having osteoporosis. The bones are becoming shallow. So now 15 days old baby is being massaged. And the person who is giving massage, if mostly ladies, if they show any compassion, then the child will not develop good bones. And the mother is crying, no, please slow, it's my small baby. The mother has to be sent away. Otherwise, that is why training, not all kinds of training to the child can be given by mother or father. You need other people. So one is that. Another, if you want to learn parenting, you learn from scriptures. You learn from Mahabharata, Ramayana. How Mother Sita raised love and Kush. How Kunti raised the 5 Pandavas. She made them with 5 glorious heroes, warriors. Such amazing mother, single parent. Many people, they talk about, oh, nowadays, single. I want to talk about single parenting. Maybe next week we'll talk more about single parenting. Many principals, they say, oh, Prabhu, these days, a lot of single parenting. I say, why should you worry about single parenting? Mother Sita was, she was a single parent when Love and Kush were growing. Then Love and Kush went to Lord Ram. And then again, Love and Kush had single parent. Why? Because Mother Sita left. She entered the earth. So Love and Kush had only mother and now they have only father. Single parenting. Kunti, single parenting. So it is not single parenting is some new concept. But obviously that time single parenting and now it's too much of negativity. So you learn from these great personalities. You learn from scriptures how to take care of child, how to grow the child. And that's what we are trying to, in this session, what I'm trying to do is get some knowledge from scriptures. And as I told you, fortunately, I have a lot of experience being in the joint family. So something is coming and something practical we are talking and overall making a package to try to serve all of you and give the best what we could do. So we'll stop here today and we'll continue this next week. Maybe it can spill over the other week also, because even though the session looks very small, only 4 slides, but a lot of detail has to be discussed. So what we can do now is few minutes, and any one of you wants to, you are actually parents, so if you want to ask any question, you want to add anything, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. You can raise the hand and our Ram Hari Prabhu will unmute you and you can then speak. You cannot unmute yourself, so you can just raise the hand.
Sir, can I leave the class? Leave.
Yes, Ram Hari Prabhu, you can unmute Ronak Garg Prabhu.
Ronak Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
Prabhuji, like you said that providing small kids with mobile phones and other devices is hazardous. So is there some way out because parents are these days occupied? So what will be a better option to do? Thank you, Prabhuji.
That is why it's all about responsible parenting. If you are really thinking to give some soul a body, a human body, then you have to take care of that. You know, scientists are selling all over the world. Science is telling the radiation of mobile phone is hazardous even to adults. What to talk about these babies? What if these babies develop brain tumor or brain cancer? Because this radiation will go and affect their brains. Okay, then someone will, because it's not, you can give khali dabba. You have to give, because they will have some videos. Basically, it's unfortunate, but it's truth that some parents these days, they are so busy that they want to shred away their responsibility of being a parent. And it's happening mostly in the big cities, in metros. Why? Dual income. Mother has to work, father has to work. Otherwise, money problem, artificial needs. It's not that they don't want to show their emotions, but they don't want to love the child. They don't want to have affection for the child. But what can they do? So they have to sacrifice. And there are parents who have sacrificed and giving more time to the child. Imagine a situation, mother is busy working, father is busy working, and you keep an ayah, and the child is with ayah. So when the child will grow, where his relationship will be, where his, what do you call, affection will be, with mother, father, or with the ayah? One child, not the child, a 17-year-old boy, in junior college, maybe in the class 12th, he came to me. I gave one session a few years back in Bandra, in Rizvi College. I gave session, 1,000 students were sitting there. So one boy came to me, 17 years old, and he had very thick glasses. Like the power of glasses would be like 10.5 and 9.5. So he said, "Sir, I want to ask a question." I said, "Please." He said, "My life has been spoiled. Mera pura zindagi barbaad ho gaya." I said, "Beta, तुम्हारा जिंदगी तो अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है. You're just 17. You're not 70. You are 17. You're a teenager, and you are telling and with so much of anguish in his heart, almost about to cry, so much of hatred." And he said, "Sir, who has spoiled my life?" I thought, okay, maybe he'll say something. So I said, okay. And there were a few other students. So I asked him, "Yes, please tell, who has spoiled your life?" He said, "My mother has spoiled my life." And I was shocked. The shock of my life. And other students are also shocked. He was like, honesty to the core, blunt on the face. I asked, "What happened? Come and sit. Please tell me what has happened." He says, "From the time I was 2 years old, My father goes to office, my mother goes to office, and they gave me this television. That time there were no mobile phones. We're talking some 20 years, 22 years before, 20 years before. Then the mobile phone, they'll give me TV. And they'll tell me sit. And I'll always watch TV. So by watching so much of TV, I became addicted. And now I cannot live without having any screen in front of me. I always want to watch movies or videos or something, this and that. And look at my power of the specs. It's 10.5 and 9.5, thick glasses. A 17 years old skinny boy, not very heighted also, because I told you, this can affect physically. The parenting, irresponsible parenting can actually affect or hinder the child's growth mentally, intellectually, spiritually, and even physically. There's a skinny fellow. Height would be around 5 feet. 17 years old. He should be like, khate pite ghar ka aata kata. He should be tall. It's very unfortunate. So please, that's what we are saying, to educate parents, to learn to be responsible parents, not just, give an upbringing to the children like cats and dogs. And even if you give all the facility on a physical level, on emotional level, on intellectual level, but if you're not caring for spiritual level, which we'll talk next week, if you're not giving that spiritual substance to the child, you are only growing a cat or a dog, not a human baby. Humans are supposed to practice dharma. If you're not teaching, if you're not giving that sanskar of dharma, and you just want the teachers to take care of it, no, why should? If you as mother and father are not taking care of the child, why should teacher? I'm conducting this Bhagavad Gita contest all over the world. And I have been talking to many parents and many teachers and many principals. What I came to know, my conclusion, parents are shredding of their responsibility. They are saying, sir, we have given money. It's the responsibility of school to take care. And teachers are not responsible. They are just earning, okay, they want some money. They have to take care of their headache. They have to complete the assignment, so many things. And why will they take care of the kids when mother is not interested or father is not interested? So ultimately, nobody is caring. And that is why what you see nowadays, these kids are on their own and they go on the wrong path. Intoxication, illicit sexual activities, drugs, depression, suppression, frustration. Finish. What is their life? Why did you bring this soul to this world if you are not ready to become a responsible parent? That is why Srimad Bhagavatam says, you should not become a mother, you should not become a father, you should not become a leader, you should not become a king if you cannot give spiritual upliftment to the dependent. So it's very important to give spiritual upliftment, which we'll talk next week. Okay? A lot of spiritual upliftment. How many mothers and fathers today, they just make the child, lie down and play some kirtan. Kirtan is going on. At least some voice is going. That Harinam is going inside the child's consciousness. Maybe child does not know, but it's going inside. We'll talk about Garbhadhan Sanskar also. We'll talk about how to take care of child before the child is born within the womb, and how to attract a good soul, which we'll talk about Garbhadhan Sanskar. And Sanskaras are to be given to the child when the child is still in the womb of mother. Very important. What is the consciousness of mother? So this all will be covered in the spiritual part. I hope that's okay. So anything else anyone wants to ask or say, or else we can stop here and continue next week, same topic. Okay, so we stop here.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we thank Chakravarti Prabhuji for this wonderful session, and we thank all of you for joining. And we will come back to the next topic on Art of Parenting Part 2 next Sunday. So thank you very much. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you all in our next class. I think we have one question from Aliza Shah.
Okay.
Sir, actually, I want to ask, every Sunday we have this class.
Yes.
Okay. Just I have to ask this one.
Yes, every Sunday we have this class. But I see a lot of kids there. This session is supposed to be for the parents. What is your age, Aliza?
What you said, sir?
What is your age?
Sir, I am 11 years old and I'm gone in, yes, I'm 11 years old.
Okay, good. So you can continue these sessions and this will help you in future maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining.